Hello and welcome to this week's video from Pinnacle Executive Coaching. This week we are going to be talking about a very interesting topic for every leader, and that is self-awareness. So a warm welcome to you wherever you might be watching from. So I want to start by just introducing myself to those who might not know me yet. My name is Teresa Walehwa Akuka. Socially and on the digital platforms, I'm known as Triza Akuka. So I offer executive coaching to enable market leaders, business executives, managers, other identified leaders in whatever capacity. You might be in a personal business enterprise, you might be in a corporate organization. I help leaders to perform, to be able to learn. I enable leaders to stay healthy and balanced, to effectively guide their teams so that they can be able to successfully reach their desired goals and be able to exceed the numerous expectations that are placed upon them. So, when we talk about self-awareness, what are we talking about? Self-awareness is basically shining a torch within yourself. It's getting aware of who you are, who you really are, What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are your interests? What are your dislikes? What are your triggers? What are your motivators? Great personal leadership normally starts with self-awareness at every level. So it's important to be self-aware. Successful leaders know what their natural tendencies are, and they use this knowledge to boost those inclinations or compensate for them. There's an author of emotional intelligence called Dr. Travis Bradbury. He described self-awareness as one of those core competencies of emotional intelligence. He defined emotional intelligence as the ability to recognize, to understand emotions in yourself and others, and use your ability to manage your behavior and your relationships. Of course, we talk about emotional intelligence being a key critical skill that every leader needs to have, and self-awareness is one of the pillars to enable you to acquire emotional intelligence. When you practice self-awareness, it allows you to be able to better react to situations or respond better to situations or people who might, just annoy you. This is a healthy skill to cultivate, especially as a leader. When you are aware of your emotions and how you handle them, then you are better equipped to process and work through them, and then you can be able to avoid unnecessary conflict. This will help you as a leader to be able to set a good example for your team, for other people, even in society. And people will be able to respect you more and be able to listen to you when they respect you more. People will feel comfortable approaching you with questions, with concerns, if you are able to emotionally handle yourself well. And that comes from knowing yourself very well. Even if you're not where you want to be as a leader, you can be able to work and develop your self-awareness, and you can be able to start acknowledging the areas that you need to work on. That is the first step. Knowing what is the issue, acknowledging it, and then setting a path to work on it is what puts you on a pedestal to become a better leader. So self-awareness is very empowering because it arms you with the knowledge and it enables you to be able to make better choices. Those better choices enable you to grow, enable you to change for the better. So we're going to be looking at a number of strategies that you can be able to apply. But first, let's continue talking about what's the importance of self-awareness. So there was an article which was listed in the Harvard Business Review. I found it very interesting, talking about self-awareness. And to quote them, they said that self-awareness seems to become it's one of these latest buzzwords in management, and this is for a good reason. Harvard says that research suggests that when we see ourselves clearly, we are more confident, we are more creative, we make sounder decisions, we build stronger relationships, we communicate more effectively, we are less likely to lie or cheat or steal, we are better workers, and we are able to get more promotions, more business if we're in business. We become more effective leaders, and therefore we have more satisfied employees and more profitable companies. This is something that has been established by the Harvard Business Review. And I found something very interesting that was researched on by one of the scholars at Harvard Business Review, Dr. Tasha Urich. So she gave out 4 self-awareness archetypes, and I thought this is just very useful for you to be able to just know, how can I analyze as a beginning to know the types of self-awareness. So there's the high internal self-awareness or high external self-awareness. If you have a high internal self-awareness and as well as you have a high external self-awareness, then you really know who you are. You know what you want to accomplish. You can be able to seek out value. You can be able to value others' opinions. And this is where, if you reach this scale as a leader, you can begin to fully realize the true benefits of self-awareness. But there are people who have a high internal self-awareness but a very low external self-awareness. So when we are talking about external self-awareness, is how well you understand how others see you. And when we're talking about internal self-awareness, is how well you just know yourself. So if you are high on internal but you're low on external, you are clear on who you are, but you cannot challenge your own views. You don't search for blind spots, because people can be able to see, and this usually comes back very clearly when you're given feedback. Because sometimes you tell yourself, I'm this really kind person, but people know that you're not kind. They don't experience kindness from you. So that is a blind spot if you're in such a situation. And if you are in a place where you have blind spots, it can harm your relationships and it can limit your success. So you need to get feedback in order to be able to know what are your blind spots and then now be able to work on them. Then we have people who are low on internal self-awareness and also low on external self-awareness. These are people we call seekers. They don't know yet who they are, what they stand for, or how their teams see them. As a result, they might feel stuck, they might feel frustrated with their performance or relationships. These ones need help. They need to be coached to be able to know this is their problem, for them to accept it, and then for them to be able now to start on a path to develop. There are people who are low on internal self-awareness, but they're very high on external self-awareness. So these are people who are pleasers. So they really know what people want and they seek to portray themselves like that. So they can be so focused on appearing in a certain way to others, and then this puts them at a risk to overlook what really matters to them. Over time, then they'll make choices which will not lead to their own personal fulfillment. So I found this chart to be very insightful from the Harvard Business Review, and it helps you to know where you are and what you stand. So now that we have understood, and maybe you've been able to see yourself in one of those quadrants, how can you, or maybe you didn't even know it fully but you want to confirm it, how can you be self-aware? What steps can you take? So I just want to list 2 very critical steps that you can take to be self-aware. The first one is a 360-degree feedback. If you're able to get a 360-degree feedback, a 360-degree feedback is a very systematic method that is used to obtain feedback on an individual's performance. So this feedback can be given from your colleagues, your bosses, your customers, your direct reports if you're in a supervisory position. It can be from friends who know you very well and they understand what kind of work you're engaged in. So several different people give feedback about you, and you also review yourself so that we can be able to get to know what is your internal self-awareness level, and we compare it with the external. So this assessment provides a very comprehensive view of how others perceive an individual, and if it's you, it can allow you to be able to work on these areas that may need improvement. So one of the key indicators of low self-awareness is the blind spots that we talked about in my previous slide. So you may think that you are projecting yourself in a certain way, but people perceive and experience you in a totally different way. And the only way to be able to be aware of blind spot is through getting feedback. The best way to get this feedback is if a 360-degree assessment is done in a confidential setup. And personally, I am a certified coach. I have been certified to administer a very comprehensive 360-degree self-assessment tool from an organization called the Leadership Circle. This is a very comprehensive tool that has even been reviewed even by the Forbes magazine as one of the tools that are very critical to developing leaders, because this leadership assessment tool looks at 3 areas. It's able to analyze your competencies. What are your competencies as a leader? You can be able to say, I'm an achiever. And then we can be able to use that tool to really know, are you really an achiever? Are you a team player? Are you reactive? Maybe you are very controlling. This tool can be able to show that to you. Then the tool is able to seek and reveal the assumptions that exist in your mind that makes you make certain decisions. And this is very deep. It's going to the subconscious level. So what drives you to behave in a certain way? Are you a people-pleasing kind of a person? So you want to be to say yes every time so that people can just like you, approve you. This tool will be able to go back and help you explore what is the assumption behind why you make certain decisions, why you always show up in a certain way. And lastly, this tool will be able to show you what is your personality type. What is your style, your personality type? There are people who are extroverts, there are people who are introverted, there are people who are, you can use different personalities. I know you know some of them that are in the market that can say, maybe you're a sanguine, maybe you're a phlegmatic. So the Leadership Circle tool, 360-degree tool, is able to review your competencies, your basic underlying assumptions, and show you your personality type. This is usually in the market done using now 3 different tools, but now one tool is able to comprehensively review all the 3 in one and be able to give you your results, so you can be able to know who you really are and how you show up. And also we give you an opportunity to review comments from the people who evaluate you, and they can say, yes, we know this person. If it's me, they'll say, we know Teresa is an ambitious lady. We know Teresa is a very hardworking lady. And then you can know these are the things that people perceive about me. And if they are good, you can maximize on them. You can emphasize them. You can be able to work on them and build. But when they give you feedback, which is something which is an area for you to work and develop, then we can be able to have a coaching conversation to help you, to empower you to be able to develop those areas. So it's very interesting. I would encourage you to reach out to me so that we can learn more about this and help you to get that assessment. The next way to be self-aware is to invest in a personal professional development program. When you invest yourself in a development program, you can be effective, develop to be effective, because you will now get tools that will help you to learn to be open-minded. Receiving feedback is a very hard thing for many people. If you're told that you're lazy, it's something that you don't want to hear, but it's necessary you hear it so that now you can improve and start working hard. So if you get into a professional development program, one of the things that we do when we offer such courses as coaches is to help you to become open-minded so that you're receptive to learning, receptive to correction, receptive to being sharpened, and being driven to the next level. A professional development program will enable you to be mindful of your strengths and weaknesses, because you can be able to do various assessments that will help you to reflect internally, and then you can be able to know, okay, this is my strength, this is my weakness. We help you to know what are your emotional triggers through various reflective exercises. We help you to embrace your intuition, because there's always an inner voice speaking every time. We help you to practice self-discipline. We help you to ask for feedback. Now where you actually go out and ask for feedback so that you can know where to improve. We do that. We help you to consider how your actions affect others. And that's where the issue of the blind spots come. Because you might be totally aware that if I behave in such a way, actually people feel bad. Let's say you are a controlling leader. For you, it's my way or the highway. Of course you achieve results, but people feel they're trampled down on. They feel that they're not listened to. So you might be totally blind to that aspect, and therefore you need to be helped to be able now to consider, to know yourself, and to be able to consider how your actions affect others. And once you are able to know that, you can become a better leader, because you can be able to be more empathetic. You can be able to practice emotional intelligence. If you know that you will do something in a way that will rub people the wrong way, you will do it in a very nice, diplomatic way, and you'll be able to bring everyone on board. We also help you to know how to set boundaries so that you can stand firm for what you really believe in and go for it. So personally, I have developed a course, a mindset course. It's called Transform Your Mindset. In this course, I have 4 major pillars. I teach you how to become the best version of yourself, how to awaken your true calling and identify your purpose, how to have a mind reset so that you can now you can embrace the mindset of an achieving leader, how you can improve yourself, how you can basically be 1% better every single day. So reach out. This is a course that's available, very low cost. It can be able to really transform your life and mindset and help you to be able to really know yourself, to be able to be self-aware. So what are the goals when we are talking about self-awareness? What is really the importance of being self-aware? First and important is that you'll be able to achieve high performance. The immense amount of understanding, the trustworthiness, the wisdom that self-aware leaders possess simply equips them with critical skills for success. And that is the desire of every leader. The next goal for being self-aware is that you'll have an increased desire for learning. As you know, learning is continuous. Learning is continuous. We keep learning, we keep sharpening ourselves throughout. So if you're able to learn, you can be able to develop a culture of self-awareness, which advances learning and development. It can help you to promote the value of continuous growth and development for yourself, for your team, for your business. And this will help people not to take things personally. When you learn and you develop, then you have a broader mindset. If you're given feedback on something that you need to improve on, you won't take it personally. You'll know this is for my good. That's why there's a quote that says feedback is the breakfast for champions. Champions don't take feedback personally. They know, I need to align myself in this way because it's for my benefit in order to improve. And then The other goal for being self-aware is that it will help you to assess your behaviors versus your values and your priorities. The best outcomes of self-awareness is to help you figure out what makes you great, and then you can be able to amplify it. You can be able to become more of it. Conversely, you seek to be less of what is negative about you. If you learn that now in a certain area you're weak, you now want to downplay or to reduce the impact, the negative impact of that weakness, even as you work to improve on it, even as you work to perfect it, so to speak, so that now you can be able to get your desired outcomes in any situation that you will be able to find yourself in as a leader. So in closing, I want to advise and encourage you. If you're a leader or if you are a person who wants to develop yourself, you need to stay curious. Curiosity in leadership will help you to explore, It will help you to reach out for greatness. Our natural tendencies, fueled by our culture, our backgrounds, our experiences, influence who we are. But we are responsible for who we continually want to become. So, new circumstances can also create new triggers and lead us to experience different reactions. And that's why we say, stay curious. Don't stop seeking to understand yourself. And in that context, now, after understanding yourself, you'll be better able to understand others around you. And once you're able to understand yourself and understand others around you, for sure, without a shadow of doubt, you will have set up yourself for success as a leader. And so that's my nugget for this week. It's been quite lengthy, and I hope for sure you've picked out something interesting. So I'm waiting for you. Get in touch. I'll drop links for the Transform Your Mindset course, which you can use for your personal development, and also my calendar. So you can reach out and let me know if we can talk about having a 360-degree assessment. Thank you so much. Remember to follow me on all my other social media handles. Drop me a mail. I'll be so happy to hear from you. Thank you and bye.